Welcome, folks. Today we are discussing a fascinating study on mapping vulnerability to rangeland degradation in the Pomacochas micro-watershed of Peru. This research utilized a combination of geographic information systems, GIS, the analytic hierarchy process, AHP, and remotely piloted aircraft systems, RPAS, also known as drones, for a comprehensive analysis.
That sounds incredibly interesting. Could you elaborate on the methodology employed in this study?
Certainly. The researchers began by identifying key criteria influencing rangeland degradation. These included the Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, NDVI, precipitation, soil organic matter, SOM, soil texture, pH, and slope. The importance of each criterion was then weighted using the AHP method, which involved expert consultation to determine relative importance. They used a 9-point scale for pairwise comparisons, a common technique in AHP.
I see. So, the AHP helped prioritize the different factors affecting rangeland health?
Exactly. After weighting, the researchers created GIS layers for each criterion using data from sources like Sentinel-2 for NDVI, WorldClim for precipitation, and soil grids for soil properties. These layers were then overlaid using a weighted linear combination, with each layer weighted according to its AHP-derived importance. This resulted in a vulnerability map.
And how did they validate their model? I'm always curious about the validation process in these types of studies.
That's a crucial point. They validated the model using high-resolution images captured by an RPAS, or drone. This allowed for ground truthing of the vulnerability classifications generated by the model. This is a strong point of the study, as it adds a layer of empirical validation to the GIS AHP modeling approach.
That's a robust approach. What were the key findings of the study? Which factors were most influential in determining rangeland vulnerability?
The study found that NDVI was the most important factor, followed by precipitation. Interestingly, slope was the least important factor. About 63% of the study area was classified as slightly vulnerable to rangeland degradation. The results provide valuable information for land management decisions in the Pomacochas micro-watershed.
So, the model suggests that focusing on vegetation health and precipitation patterns would be most effective in mitigating rangeland degradation in this area?
Precisely. The study highlights the importance of integrating remote sensing data, GIS techniques, and multi-criteria decision analysis methods like AHP for assessing rangeland vulnerability. It's a powerful combination for providing spatially explicit information for targeted interventions.
It seems like a very comprehensive and well-executed study. However, I wonder about the limitations. Were there any potential biases introduced by the expert panel in the AHP process? Could subjective biases have influenced the weighting of criteria?
That's a valid concern. Subjectivity is inherent in expert-based methods like AHP. While the study doesn't explicitly address potential biases, it's important to acknowledge this limitation. Future research could explore sensitivity analysis to assess how variations in expert opinions might affect the results. Perhaps using a larger and more diverse expert panel could help mitigate this.
That's a good point. So, in summary, this study provides a valuable framework for assessing rangeland vulnerability using a combination of GIS, AHP, and RPAS technology. The findings highlight the importance of NDVI and precipitation as key drivers of degradation, and the study's validation using drone imagery strengthens its credibility. However, the potential for bias in the AHP process should be considered.
Exactly. It's a significant contribution to the field, offering a practical and replicable methodology for assessing rangeland health. Thank you for joining us today, folks. We hope you found this discussion insightful. Goodbye.